like that.
So you are judging them. Good point. Yes, Prachi?
We get to know about their culture, their language, their character, everything.
You get to know you're meeting someone for the first time. You may take some time to do that. Anyone
His
else?
mouth initially.
Some guys, Ankit, Neil,
And
Anand.
their interest in the field.
Interest in the field. You're meeting somebody in an organization for the first time. It will take you time to ascertain that interest. So human behavior tends to be very focused on myself. It is probably one of the biggest challenges that we face as human beings. In fact, the very field of organizational behavior actually evolved in this, at the end of this century, which has just got over. It is relatively a newer topic. The way in which we behave sometimes is not even visible to us. We are not even aware how our behavior is being perceived by others. So I think one of you very rightly said, I'm judging, I'm sizing up that person. I haven't even opened my mouth. It's that first few fractions of seconds when I'm looking at this person and I'm trying to size up and then decide, or I will be very formal, stiff, or will I just, be casual and be myself? A lot of, therefore, organizational behavior draws from the field of psychology. Is anyone here from an arts background or all? Anyone with an arts background? Anybody with a science background here in the group?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
2, 4.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay. A handful of you, science background, that's all. Rest are all commerce. Nobody from arts. Okay. So go. I know where to start talking about psychology. So what do you know about psychology? When you hear the word psychology, what comes to your mind? Someone who hasn't spoken so far, some people.
Human brain.
The human brain. Hansraj feels it's the human brain. Anyone else?
Ma'am, the things that are going inside the brain, like what they are thinking, how they should behave, and how not to behave. Like, if we are in public, then then our brain gives us the message that we have to behave properly. If we are in front of some reputed people, then we have to show us some manners. Then that's
Okay. Yeah, it is the processing that goes on inside my brain. Yes.
Ma'am, human thought.
Conscious and unconscious behavior, says Neil. Okay. Yeah, someone else asking.
Ma'am, human thought.
Human thought.
Personality, emotion, and all.
Emotions. What is going
Excuse
on?
me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, it's like a mindset of a person, like how he'll be reacting to any situation like which came around.
Okay. So the responses, you're saying it's more to do with the response, okay? It is a scientific study of humankind, study of the mind and behavior. So good, Google Bhaiya is doing his job. Now let's just get into a very quick meaning of it. The word psychology actually comes from the word, 2 different Greek words. So you will find that a lot of what we study comes from the Western world as far as organizational behavior goes. So there are 2 words, and these words are understood in these 2 fashions. So the psyche is the soul or the mind. Most of you have shared that point of view. And then there is a knowledge to it. There is a logic to it, what we call as logos. Both psyche and logos are terms. Psychology, the word psychology is derived from these two words, which are Greek terms. And fundamentally, it is drawing from the field of philosophy. So anybody wants to tell us what is philosophy? So philosophy, after the world of science, you know, the Einsteins began to reason scientifically that, okay, this is how matter has come to exist. This is air. This is, you know, the earth. And then there is something which is the sky. The second, what we call as the natural sciences, we started looking at the social sciences. That not everything can be easily ascertained. There is something which is going on beyond. There is a mental process. So psychology, therefore, has two clear parts to its study. The behavior part, which is visible, which is what we do, what we say, the expressions on our face, all of that constitutes behavior. And then there is the mental processes. There is something going on inside the mind, and a lot of you said the scientific way in which the mind works. So yes, psychology, when it first was thought about trying to understand human behavior, psychology was the first field of study that started looking at psychology, sociology, what is happening into the mind. So initially it was seen as philosophy, something which, you know, aise hota hai. There is some God, you are blessed, there is some wisdom which comes from unknown sources. To psychology becoming more a scientific study, saying that no, there is a science behind it. There are mental processes, and these mental processes can be understood to some extent. Can we figure it all out? No. So that we will come to in the next slide. So our intention here is that there is something philosophical, something which is soul, which is insight, which is something, the term, you hear terms like spirit, spiritual, that is more the soul. And then inside there is the mental, there is the mind, which we, you know, you say, what is your IQ, right? You look at aptitude tests. So the mind, how does it think? How does it reason? And can you see the soul? Can you see the mind? The reason I put that in the color red is that they are not visible. What is visible is only behavior. So, you know, the field of organizational behavior is different from psychology, as we are not going to get into, you know, what happened to you when you were, you know, just a fertilized egg in your mother's womb. We will not get into that depth of understanding. Organizational behavior tries to look at adult behavior. The focus here is you and me. How do we as adults, based on our past, how does the mind work? And because of that mind working, how do I behave? What do I do? What do I say? How do I respond? Okay, so a good idea, OB, psychology, mind, and the mental processes, and therefore what is visible to me is only behavior. I can guess what's happening in your mind. I can probably, you know, listening to you talk, I can say, very spiritual person, right? Some people, you know, Sadhguru, Sri Ji, you will hear them speak, and then you know that they are at a different plane altogether. So you can sense it, but can you see it and accurately identify it? No. So you see a lot of fake sadhus and, you know, fake all the time WhatsApp Baba has got his own versions of how you entertain. One minute, where did this come? Oh, so sorry. Okay, so there was an example that I was, 1 minute. Yes, so anyone, what is this vehicle here?
Tesla.
The Roadster, right?
Yes.
So, just to conclude this topic about the soul, the mind, and what is philosophy, what is, real science, scientific understanding of behavior. So if I asked one of you a question, so will the sun rise tomorrow? Can I have, as people who haven't responded so far, give me an answer? Will the sun rise tomorrow? Very easy question, come on. Who is this? Who's speaking? Sorry? Okay, Kriti, you're clear that the sun. Anyone else who agrees or disagrees with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, so you are in agreement. Okay. Now, suppose, so who guessed the Roadster? Who guessed the Tesla car? Who was it?
And Kaushal.
Kaushal. Okay. So Kaushal says, Kriti, no, I don't agree with you. I have decided to do the test run. So far the Roadster is still work in progress, right? So Kaushal lands up at SpaceX and he says, I'm willing to volunteer. I'm going to drive the Roadster across the world. If that is the case, will Kaushal agree with Kriti, who says that sun will rise tomorrow? Kaushal can chase the sun around the world. Will it ever set for it to rise again? Kaushal, what do you say?
I don't know.
You'll never see the sun set, right? So there's no question of the sun rising. The sun is there forever.
Yes.
Yes. So the context, so philosophy goes to that level where you're saying that everything can be questioned. It's just the way that you see it. When you say the sun is rising here, it is setting somewhere else. There's no sun there. So therefore the whole concept of sunrise and sunset, that the sun will rise tomorrow, there's no guarantee. Why? Because you may move to a different part of the world and therefore you can no longer claim that the sun will rise at the same time there. So therefore, the challenge. So where is the challenge? It's so easy, it's behavior, right? All I have to do is to just watch people, what they are doing, and I'll be able to understand what's going on in their mind, why they are doing what they are doing. But the challenge is that human behavior is complex. And there are a number of causes for it. So when we study a topic like organizational behavior, we are trying to break it down into meaning parts, into parts that will make some sense. I will get some idea because human behavior is determined by multiple causes. So organizational behavior allows me to understand, to put things in a box and say, uska attitude aisa hai, uska personality aisa hai. This is what is motivating him. These are his perceptions. And together I get a better understanding of the person. But will I be able to completely understand human behavior? No. So let's just understand it as that part of human behavior, which is what you pay attention to. So we are all, so you hear your parents, elders tell you all the time that, you both are brothers and sisters, or even twin brothers or twin sisters, twin brother-sister pair. they are so different. Why is it so? So it is an outcome of what you pay attention to. And a lot which is there, which is hereditary. So behavior has overtones, has strong rooting in your genetic makeup, who are your parents, your early experiences, right? What kind of families you grew up, which state, which country, where, what was the kind of family, joint family, married, dual couples, dual working couples, single parents. All of this determine your behavior. A quick look at science over here. So people, conventional wisdom tells us that people behave differently because of the kind of personality they have, the style of thinking. Here, science tells us that there are two ways into which you can put people. The first fundamental differentiation you can make, the minute you get to know a person and speak to them for some time, you can put them in either one of these baskets. So you've heard of the left-brained and the right-brained people. So studies have it that people are inclined towards one of the two. I am largely either left-brained or right-brained. So when I say right-brained, I'm more the intuitive, creative, and willing to look beyond. Left-brained people, on the other hand, tend to be very specific, very quantified. So a simple thing like, you see these clouds in the air, the right brain guys will look at it and say, wonderful, such lovely clouds, it's such great weather. Okay, I think it's going to be a sunny day. Though it looks like it might rain, the left-brained people looking at those same clouds are going to say, what am I paying attention to? You know what? I just looked up the weather report and it says it is so many degrees. And yes, there is a chance of rain at 4 o'clock this evening. So if you see the sentence I made in the last slide, in the previous slide, the last line, it is what you pay attention to. So it's not your choice also. It comes again from the way that you are fundamentally wired. As a child, how were you institutionalized? What kind of education? How did your parents handle? Grandmother was there, what she would say, more superstitious, more logical. Grandfather was more predominant. So all of these factors play a role. Then there is that little thing here, which you can see in the image, which is called the amygdala. It is that tiny little